Want to watch football without the restrictions of blackouts or cable? Check out expressvpn.com to help you get access to all the live games. Sign up today using the link in the description to get 3 free months. Yo, both fam, it's the director. Chargers fans, it's the day. It's the Madden 24 day. Okay, I get it. Some of you guys, probably not your cup of tea, right? Some people really have a distaste for Madden. I'm sorry, it is my vice. This channel actually started as kind of a Madden Chargers YouTube channel, if you can believe that. Since then, maybe don't play Madden quite as much, but I gotta tell you, dude, I still do look forward to the ratings every single year. I do play a little bit of Madden Ultimate Team on the side. Sorry to everybody. Wouldn't recommend it, but that is one of my vices. So today, we're going to be reacting to the player ratings for the Chargers for Madden 24. Now, I've done a pretty good job at keeping myself away from the reveals so far. Of course, I've seen a couple of them, right? The Chargers social media team has been posting nonstop about it. But for the most part, I actually don't know most of the ratings for the Chargers. So we're going to go through and react to them together to kind of see what our thoughts are for the team, at least in the virtual Madden turf for the 2023 season. So very exciting stuff, man. Super excited to see what the team looks like. And again, sorry if it's not everybody's, cup of tea, but man, do I love me some Madden. I think for me, it's just kind of the signal that we're getting ready to get into football season, if that kind of makes sense, right? After Madden comes, the preseason, the regular season's just around the corner. It's part of my ritual, all right? So before we do get started, guys, let's give a shout out to the sponsor. Speaking of which, man, football around the corner, Underdog Fantasy. If you guys haven't tried this is the best fantasy platform on the web. I've had so much fun with this. And now this season, I'm actually super excited to do, for the first time, my in-season draft. They're open. They're officially open for the 2023 season. If you guys want to get a jump in on that, this is where things get kind of fun. Me personally, I like to start with some of the lower stuff here because things can change this early before the season, but sometimes they change in your favor. So I like to go in on some of the smaller stuff to start things off and then get into some of the heavier stuff as the season gets closer. So super fun stuff. If you guys want to get in on the action, use code DIRECTOR to match your first deposit up to $100. The open draft season is now here. Let's get ready for football season, baby. Let's go. Before we do kick off, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Chargers content. Small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this reaction video. Lights, camera, action. My reaction to the Chargers Madden 24 player ratings. Let's get right into it. We got a lot of players to get through. Again, I know a couple of these guys, okay, like we saw here in the social media. So we're going to start off here with Darwin James. We'll make our way from the top and go a little bit lower as we get angrier as the video ensues. But we'll start with Darwin James, who I already knew, okay? We're going to go over a couple of stats with maybe a few guys, not a lot of them, but there are some things that are important to me, okay? If you guys didn't know, Darwin James, in the Madden world at least, we consider him a beastly user. What a user is the guy that you're using on the defensive side of the ball, right? A lot of guys like to use those sub-linebacker packages, get those safeties out there. They play the pass pretty well. And Darwin James being 6'2", 6'3" in the game, he's definitely a beast out there. So you definitely want to see a nice speed rating on him. 91 in the base game. Not bad. Definitely one of the better you're going to find in the game there. The other things that you definitely want to take a look at, if you're not using him for whatever reason, you need to see some good zone and man coverage. Both of those look pretty decent. I would hope that man was at 90. That's kind of where things start looking really nice in terms of reaction. And then zone at 90, that should get the job done there. So Darwin James, kind of expected this one. 95 overall. The big thing that does confuse me, though, EA, you take a look over here at this picture. Highest rated safety in Madden, 95 overall. Now, there's going to be a lot of other positions where obviously the highest rated player is going to be way higher than 95 overall. To me, a guy who's played Madden for a long time, all right, you can consider me even like a Madden vet, had a whole channel revolving around it. I understand the ratings, etc., etc. This seems low. I'm sorry, it kind of does. It seems low. Darwin James, at minimum, it should be a 97 in my opinion, especially as the best safety in Madden 24. It would have been nice to see that in terms of respect. But in terms of how he'll play in the game, for those of you maybe picking it up or whatever, if you do, I would not recommend Madden Ultimate Team. Just saying that, throwing that out there, putting the energy out there. He should be playing just fine, though, for those of you guys who are maybe picking it up, okay? So Darwin James, 95. He should be a pretty decent player out there. One of the best you're going to find in terms of safety and even as a user. All right, next up, let's take a look at this guy, Joey Bosa, 91 overall. I don't think I like that, man. I don't think I like that. I was expecting Bosa to be in and around the realm of 93, 94. Of course, they normally lower the ratings of players after an injury-riddled season. That is what Joey Bosa suffered last season. But I still feel like 91 is a bit low right there. Let's go ahead and take a look. There's only a couple of settings or a couple of attributes that I want to look at here. We won't make it too long. Finesse move is basically the only thing I'm kind of concerned about, and it's a 96 on Joey Bosa. He's still going to play like a beast out there. Maybe not the fastest guy, but in terms of what I was hoping to see, I think Joey Bosa, again, right now, I feel like you can maybe fast forward to the end, and I'll probably say, yeah, every Charger needs to be 2 or 3 overall higher. I think that's what we're all going to think about for our, respective teams. But in terms of like the best Chargers on our roster, I'm seeing Joey Bosa, 91 overall. I'm not too pleased with that. And there's other guys that I think could have maybe even been a little higher than Joey Bosa that I've yet to see here. So not off to a good start. Again, we're going to progressively just get a little bit angrier and angrier as we move along. Here we got Austin Ekeler, 89 overall. Dude. Okay, so I think I saw this one floating around on Facebook, and I think I was equally as mad then. I think it was a couple of days ago. Austin Ekeler, the man who has scored more touchdowns than any player in the league by a long shot, doesn't even crack a 90 overall. And to add insult to injury, something I do remember seeing on social media was his catching attributes, which is absolutely ridiculous. Let's see if we can find... Again, I don't want to do this with every player. It takes way too long. But it's definitely something you got to look at. Spec catch, 68. Catching traffic, 65. His route running, 73, 80, 66 deep. I don't like that. I'm sorry. I really don't. This is, in my opinion, him and Christian McCaffrey kind of neck and neck as the best receiving backs in the NFL. I think, first off, Austin Ekeler deserves to be a 91 minimum. And I think after that, he should have some of the best receiving stats for a running back in the game. We're not saying that. As a matter of fact, last season, and this kind of ticked me off a little bit too. Sorry, I can be a little passive aggressive because I'm a nice guy, but this does anger me a little bit. Last season, I do remember they categorized Austin Ekeler as an elusive back, right? They like to separate these players into different archetypes, and they put Austin Ekeler as an elusive back. Receiving back's an option. I'm just going to say that right now. How is the best receiving back in the NFL, or at least top 2, not at least categorized as a receiving back? And then they're going to give him stats like this. Don't really like that. All right, let's move on. Oh, we're only like 3 players in, man. I'm already a little bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. Chargers roster looks really, really nice. Maybe the ratings all look a little bit different. I've seen other players that are hitting 99s like a Jay Jettas and stuff, so I don't know how to feel quite yet. I don't know how to feel quite. Next up, we got Keenan Allen, 89 overall. I kind of expected it around here. I was hoping to see him at a 90 for at least one more season. That's kind of where he's been floating around between 93 and 90 for the past like 3 or 4 years. We kind of know what we're getting out of Keenan at this point. Keenan Allen can be a beastly receiver in Madden, depending on what's super important that particular year, right? Some years, most years, it's going to be speed. Some years, you'll see some nice route running attributes actually do something in the game. Catching, do something in the game. From my experience in previous Maddens, speed still is kind of king, which the Chargers don't have a lot of, at least in previous years. This year, they'll have a little bit. Keenan at 88 speed is going to feel a little bit sluggish out there, but this dude, every single season for the past several Maddens, since I can remember in my Madden-ception, right, he's been kind of my slot dude. He's been absolutely fantastic. So Keenan Allen, 88 speed. He's going to have great catching. He's going to have great route running because 89 overall with low speed usually means that you're going to have decent route running, et cetera, et cetera. So can't be too mad at it. Here it is, 90, 91, 92, 87. They're pretty decent with a 93 spec catch. Keenan Allen, can't be too upset about that. It's about maybe 1 overall lower than I was hoping to see. Definitely the least anger-infusing so far. Next up, we got Corey Lindsley, 88 overall. Okay, so when you guys remember when I was saying we're already at 91 with Joey Bosa, and there's guys that I think need to be higher than him a little bit for their positions. This is one of those guys I was thinking about. I don't know. I know one of the guys that's in charge of these things, like the ratings. Clint, I forget his last name. I think he was an offensive lineman in the NFL at one point. And it kind of confuses me because in my perspective, again, and I think even in the perspective of some revolving NFL fans, Corey Lindsley is one of the best centers in the entire league, right? You could even argue like top 2, top 3. And he's been that for quite a long time. 88 seems super low to me. I was hoping to see Corey Lindsley like a 92. And I remember being just as disappointed last season because when he is on the field, he's a huge difference maker. I think there's a stat floating around somewhere where when he is on the field, we see a significant more amount of points than when he's off of the field because of his communication and repertoire with Justin Herbert. Yeah, that seems pretty low to me. He should have pretty decent awareness, yeah, and pretty decent, we'll say, run or pass blocking is what we're hoping to see from Corey Lindsley. But 88 seems low. He was one of those guys that I was like, yeah, it's an offensive lineman. But in my opinion, he deserves to be in the low 90s. Instead, he's going to reach the high 80s. Where's Justin Herbert? How is Justin Herbert not a 90 overall? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I saw, who was it? I think Joe Burrow hit a 95, okay? I don't know Justin's yet. I just saw the quarterbacks release this morning, decided to jump on and do the video. I think I was like, oh, that's the last batch of positions we've been waiting for. I did see Joe Burrow at 95. Justin Herbert should, at very minimum, be at 92. 91 on a really bad day. Where is he? We're already at the 88s. Mike Williams up next. 88 overall. This is where the Chargers, again, struggle a little bit in Madden. We don't have a lot of speed. 89. It's not going to beat a lot of corners out there, but there's one stat in particular that I look for in Mike Williams every year. 2 of them, I should say. There's a catching stat right there of 92, which is nice. This means you can throw in traffic a little bit, right? Just like in real life a little bit. You can kind of high point, try and get away with something. And this year, from what I've heard, the spec catching is pretty nice, and that's what I'm looking for over here. Where's the spec catch for Mike Williams? He's got that trait about him that not a lot of other players in the NFL have, and there it is. He's got a spec catch of 98. Maybe the best in the game. He might be close. I think Jay Jettas might have him beat out because he's a 99, and Mike Williams only an 88, but that's a really high stat. So he's going to be very fun to play with in Madden. But still, I don't like the speed. Speed kind of changes a little bit. It feels like they've been lowering it a little bit, which is kind of good, I think, for the longevity of the game. But I like to see more speed with the Chargers. I feel like we'll see more as we keep going. Next up, there he is, Justin Herbert. Oh. 87 overall. 87 overall for Justin Herbert. The best quarterback to start their career in the first 3-4 seasons. 87 overall. I get that Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl and that he's a fantastic player, right? I understand that. I'm actually a big fan of Joe Burrow. I like him quite a bit. But to give him a 95 and Herbert not even crack 90 is insulting. It's insulting. Who are we wearing today, director? I don't know. I was anticipating the overall of one player in particular. This guy, number 10, Justin Herbert. And to open it up and see 87, I don't like that, man. Hey, EA, we might clip this and put it on Twitter. EA, dude, come on, man. 87 for Justin Herbert. I can't sit by and just let that happen, man. Even if all we do is complain and make some noise, we got to get Justin Herbert up closer to a 90. He should be at least a 90 in my opinion. At least, right? At least a 90 at this point. Dude's been out here breaking all kinds of records, being one of the best players to ever start the career in the NFL. Give us at least a 90 overall, Justin Herbert, when there's a 95 overall Joe Burrow floating around out there. Jeez Louise, man. Okay, a couple of things I need to see, okay? Because, again, I'm looking at this for the first time. They're actually right in front of my face here. 86 speed, that's great. 96 throw power. That's kind of all I'm really looking for. The accuracies, and again, this kind of changes between Maddens. I don't know how important it is this Madden, but the accuracies, it feels like if you hit like 80 or 85, 90, you tend to not miss a lot of passes. So right here, 91 short, he's not going to miss anything. 88 medium and 80 or an 88 deep. I think medium he should be fine. I think it's 85 as far as the threshold's been in years past. Deep, however, should be 90. That's usually the threshold, so he may not be as reliable in a deep pass, which is ridiculous. That'll go up. That'll go up as the season goes. The Chargers have built a team that's going to want to pass deep a lot. That'll go up, but I don't like starting at 87. That one I take offense to quite greatly. I don't like that at all. Justin Herbert, 87 overall. Okay, let's move on. Next up, we have got the great Eric Kendricks. Wow, 85 overall. Now, to be fair, I haven't really paid attention to Eric Kendricks too much in previous Maddens. But it's cool to see the new vet. I know he's a bit older, too. Madden doesn't like giving out high ratings to older players in certain positions. I think linebacker might actually be one of them. They still gave this man an 85 overall, which is pretty decent. Now, the big thing that's going to hold him back from being used a lot in Madden is going to be the speed factor, which if you're playing what we call regs, like just regular head-to-head, you get the base rosters fighting up against each other. That should be fine against the run, fine maybe even as a user. When you start an online play, you're probably going to be using Darwin James quite a bit. Maybe let Eric Kendricks patrol the field a little bit. There's a couple of things that I look for in a middle linebacker, especially one that I might not be usering. Awareness is a big one, and you're going to want to look for zone coverage as well, because this guy's going to be kind of roaming on his own. And lucky for us, he was kind of known for his zone coverage in Minnesota. 77. Okay, I do know Madden, all right? They don't hand out super high zone coverage to linebackers very often. But you got to wonder what the exceptions are. Eric Kendricks has really been that kind of guy, a coverage linebacker for a long time. What you want to see here is at least 80. 77 is just missing the mark. He's not going to play it very well. I need a number. I need somebody to call. Either way, though, I'm a little excited to see that Eric Kendricks is higher than I was expecting. I was expecting him to be more like an 81, 82. 85 is pretty high. I like that. Welcome to the squad, Eric. Excited to see him mentor Dan Henley. All right. I can't wait to get to the rookies. I don't know any of the rookie ratings yet. I think, yeah, I still don't even know Quentin Johnson's. All right. I've done a good job keeping away from all that. Next up, Khalil Mack coming in at 85. 85. That's such a drop-off, y'all. I think Khalil Mack was like a 93 last year. I think he was higher than Bosa last year. And he played. Of course, he only put up 8 sacks, but that's not bad, right? Especially given the situation. 85? 85 for Khalil Mack? Oh, and again, this is what I was talking about. They usually start declining you in overall depending on position. Edge, linebacker, that's definitely one of them. But that's pretty harsh, man. I knew that there was going to be a decline. I expected somewhere like 88. Maybe that's where he started. No, that was in Madden Ultimate Team. I'm pretty sure he was in the 90s last year, y'all. That's disgusting. I don't like that. He needs to show me at least some good power move for me to feel at least okay about it. 86. You want to see that around 90. Khalil Mack, I don't like it, man. I feel like Khalil Mack deserves a little bit more, right? 86 even makes me feel okay, right? 85. That's just kind of like, I don't know. I don't like it. Next up, Rashawn Slater, 85. Okay, I feel good about this one. Some of y'all will be like, yo, the all-pro rookie. I get that. Offensive linemen in particular take some time to catch up with their overall. Rashawn Slater didn't play. I feel like given that situation, 85's okay. It's okay with me. 85 will play great in Madden. It really will. It'll play great, especially in terms of pass protection. Like that's kind of what I look for there. Pass block at 87. That's pretty good. They've since then split it up to like finesse and power. How they block those separate. But Rashawn Slater 85, not bad. I'm not too angry at that. Hope to see him up in the 90s. In the middle of the season here. They do adjust these throughout the course of the season, so I'm hoping that we do see something like that. All right, we're at page 1 already complete. Yay, 15 minutes, and that's the top of the crop. Okay, we'll go a little bit quicker as we keep moving in here. Okay, Asante Samuel Jr. Attaboy! Oh, 82. Dang it. I was hoping he was like 84. Dang. Asante's been so good the last couple of seasons. I feel like Madden's kind of starting to look at him. I think he wasn't even in the 80s last year, so he has bumped into that elite tier because I know like 60s to like the high 70s, that's considered like okay. Not even 60s. Like the 70s are considered like okay. Once you get into the 80s, they tend to be pretty dang good, and then the 90s are like the elite. Asante. 92 speed is nice to see. I'm going to be real upset if his man isn't at least like 80. We need man at 76, zone at 86, which is I guess I get it. The Chargers have been using him in zone a lot. He's been doing very well in zone. But I feel like when he was drafted, he was one of those guys that you looked at and said, "Hey, there's a man corner." I don't like that that's not reflected in the game so much. Asante Samuel Jr. 82. I was hoping to see him a bit higher, but I think I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm actually shocked that he's a little higher than Michael Davis at this point. I think Michael Davis, they should be in and around the same, if not Davis a little bit higher. So Asante Samuel. Gerald Everett coming up with an 82 overall. This one's actually a little surprising to me. I feel like Gerald Everett in Madden speak, right? I feel like he's more of like 79, right? Like just underneath that. He's going to be good. He's going to be consistent, but he's not going to be like the super big difference maker. So for the first time in this video, I feel like this might be a little high, which I hate saying because we love Gerald Everett, and I think he does some great things out there. 84 speed at tight end is pretty decent. He's going to have some nice catching as well. I think that was actually up here, right? 86 catching. Like he's going to be a nice player to use in Madden. But yeah, maybe just a skosh higher than I was expecting. So cool. We got a nice tight end. Next up, J.C. Jackson, the descent from greatness, right? This man last year, we're talking, I think 90 something. I don't quite remember. I just remember being super hyped at the top season, and then of course they lowered him as the season went on because he did not play, and he was very disappointing to start that season. 82 overall. That's quite a dip. That's like an 8 overall drop, if not more. It could be a little less. I don't remember. That's. I hope to see that bounce back, man, because he does have the attributes that you're looking for. Mr. INT, right? So he's going to have the 91 speed. He's going to have the 81 catching. That's kind of what you're looking for. Play rec, I think, is also pretty important when it comes to identify or trying to come down with those interceptions. That's going to be something we look for. Change of direction looks pretty good. Where's the play rec out here as well? I got to see the player because I want to see him kind of return to that kind of reputation. 85 play rec is pretty spectacular. 86 man, that's great. 80 zone, that's, I think, a threshold. It's usually a threshold every year, so he's going to play great in zone as well. He'll be great in Madden. He will. He'll probably be better than Asante Samuel, if I'm being honest, in Madden. I just hope to see him return to those 90 stats, right? Those 90 stats throughout the course of the season. He's going to be that comeback player that we're looking for in 2023. Next up, Michael Davis, 80 overall. So if I remember correctly, he wasn't an elite last year, which is in the 80s, right? So that's good to see. He's going to be one of those corners I think some people wouldn't mind using in Ultimate Team as a budget kind of guy because he does have that speed at 92. It's going to be a little different Ultimate Team. Let me just be upfront with that. He's got nice speed, and he's going to have, I'm going to guess, decent zone, right? Maybe nothing crazy, but maybe decent. 83. That's great. That's great. I'm sorry, you guys probably can't see that. That's great. 83 zone. I like that. He's going to be a great card, or he's going to be a great player, I should say, in Madden. He's going to be pretty good. Michael Davis. Next up, Josh Palmer, 78. I do know that he's bumped up. I think he was a 74 last year. So that's a nice bump of 4 overall for a non-starting wide receiver for, a good portion of the season. Of course, he was called upon after all the injuries. That's not bad. Honestly, in Madden speak, reminds me a little bit of Keenan Allen, right? He's got the lower speed, but he makes up for it with some decent catching and route running, which for a 70s player isn't going to be super great, but it's not going to be terrible either because he's not super fast. The speed takes up a lot of that rating, right? So in route running, short, he just misses the mark. The rest of them, he'll be okay. He'll be okay out there. So Josh Palmer, decent, not great. Next up, J.K. Scott, the punter. Great Scott. 75 honestly feels low. I think he's one of the best punters in the entire league, like flying under the radar low key, but it's a punter. I'm not going to be too upset about it. J.K. Scott, like the guy. Next up, we've got Sebastian Joseph Day at a 75. Y'all, I think he started in the high 70s. I can sometimes get my wires crossed with Ultimate Team and Reg, so I apologize if we've done that a bunch of times this video, but I think he went down, y'all. I think he went down. Of course, there was some injury stuff. I think he played great from when he was on the field, though. So this one I don't quite understand. I would hope his, awareness is going to play okay because it is at 80. That's basically the threshold for a lot of these things. Strength is great at 86. Impact block and run blocking is going to be something, or run defending is going to be something we look at. 82 for impact looks pretty great. Yeah, man, I don't know. Block shed. That's what you look for against the run. 75. Not great. Yeah, I don't know, man. Sebastian Joseph Day was hoping to see a bit higher. Isaiah Spiller coming in with a 74. Another one where I'm probably like, it's probably a little high. We only saw 5-6 carries from the man all season, and they weren't super spectacular. For a second-year player, 74. I thought he was going to be a 71. I think he was in the 60s last year because, of course, maybe he was in the low 70s. I don't remember, but he'll be okay. Next up, Kenneth Murray. Kenneth Murray, this guy, he was actually quite fun to play with in Madden when he was first drafted and then for the first couple of years because he was tall and he was fast. At the linebacker position, that's something that that definitely helps. Like, for instance, this man at 6'3", 87 speed, like, I would probably user him over a Kendricks. You understand? Because he's got more speed, he's got more height, he's going to be better for me to control because I can make up for the lack of the attributes. 74 overall, though, definitely low, but I think he'll get the job done for people playing Madden. I think they'll enjoy using him. All right, page 3. We're going to start lightning rounding these, okay? We got to the rookie! Quentin Johnson! Just when I said we're going to speed things up, we got to take a second here. Quentin Johnson, 89 speed. I did see this. I did see this on TikTok, or on Twitter. I did see this on Twitter. 89 speed. Disappointing. And honestly, I'm not super upset about it because 89 speed's good in Madden. It's not bad. It's definitely good. The only reason I'm upset is because I think Jackson Smith and Jigba also has 89 speed. That doesn't make a lick of sense to me, man. JSN, great player. He's going to be slow as dirt in the NFL, but he's going to be, you know, making up for it in other areas. Quentin Johnston's certainly faster than him. So if JSN gets 89, you're hoping that Quentin gets like 91, 92. So 89, well, we can hope that they raise that a little bit. Other than that, I'm not going to look at the other stats, but it's cool to see Quentin Johnson, 74. That's a usable wide receiver in Madden. Definitely usable, right? And honestly, with the roster looking the way it is right now, you can actually mix and match some of these guys depending on the speed, play, whatever. And that's something we hope to see in real life as well. Next up, Zion Johnson, 74. I honestly thought that he was going to be a bit higher. I honestly thought Zion Johnson would be like a 78 this season. Because he certainly wasn't bad last year. Did he, like, stand out like Rashawn Slater in his rookie season? No. But he was solid. He was solid all season. And usually when you see a solid player going into the second year, they're in the high 70s. I was hoping to see Zion like 78. I was hoping to see Zion at 78. 74 is certainly not bad, right? When it comes to offensive line in Madden, you're not looking for, like, 99s everywhere, right? You need something like 74 will get the job done most of the time. But in terms of respect, I was hoping to see 78. Man, we're really getting down into the mud now, dudes. That means the remainder of the roster is under a 74, and I do not like that. Cameron Dicker, one of the most accurate kickers in the league last season. I get that he's young, first season last year. Was it his first year? I'm pretty sure it was. 73 seems low. It is what it is. What's his kick power? I think that's one of the last things they're going to put in here, so I'm not even going to look. I'm not even going to look. Right, 94 kick power. Wow, one of the first things. That's good. That's good. He'll do the job. He'll do the job out there. Dawson Johnson coming at defensive tackle, 72 overall. That's kind of where I expected to see him. Again, don't be offended if you're like, director, I'm shocked. Why would you want Dawson Johnson to be terrible? No, I just, again, understanding the ratings a little bit and seeing what happened this last season and seeing what his rating was last year, 72 feels fine. The big thing that you look for in an Dawson Johnson is his block shed, and he should be okay there. 74, again, it's not great. It's not great, but it'll get the job. It'll get the job done. Next up, Dustin Hopkins. We have 2 kickers this season. Chargers haven't made up their minds yet, so they're going to be on the roster for Madden. 72 overall. That's funny. Jamari Sawyer coming in at a 72. No! No! No, EA. No. No. One of the best stories of value you're going to find in the draft last season. Stepped in at left tackle. Had a phenomenal appearance for the Chargers in 2023 or 2022. This man deserves at least a 76. In my opinion. 76 for Jamari, like minimum. This dude was awesome. And don't list him at left tackle, you numbnuts. He's a guard. And he's playing, I think, right guard this season. Him and Zion Johnson have switched. So Zion's on the left side and Jamari's on the right. He should be at least a 76, dude. This guy was awesome last year, especially considering where he was drafted. I don't like that. I will stand up to that. Alohi Gilman at 71. Again, I don't agree with this. It really depends on who you ask, right? There's some people that say, he's not going to live up. He's not going to live up. And I get that if you watched Alohi maybe the first half of last year. Second half of last year, though, man, he looked more like a 76. Like a 76 to me. Alohi looked pretty good. Is it going to really matter? Maybe not so much because, again, the things that you look for, speed, that's a little low. He'll be okay, though. You're not looking for anything crazy at free safety. If you can get away with somebody with 90 zone, you're in pretty good shape, but it's not going to hurt you too much. 66 is so bad, though, dude. Oh. Next up, Dan Henley, the rookie. 3rd round pick. Cracks 70 overall. I don't hate that. Oh, and they give this man 88 speed. That is my user this year, dude. And the reason I say that is because a lot of people say, why are you using Darwin James? Well, Darwin has such great zone. I'm going to let him do that, what he does, because he'll play zone well. And I'll use Henley, who's got 88 speed, and go out there and work the field. Now, the big problem with Madden is that linebackers don't react to interceptions very well, which kind of sucks. But in regs, you see it more often than not. Henley, 88 speed. I like that. I don't even care about the rest of his stats. That's awesome. That's awesome. 70 for Jalen Guyton, which seems pretty fair. 92 speed, considering the injury. That's not too bad. Josh Kelly coming in at 70. I think this one should have been higher. Honestly, I think you switch Josh Kelly and Isaiah Spiller, and I'm feeling a little bit better about it. What Isaiah's was a 74, 73? I think that's where Josh Kelly should be. He had a great year last year. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to page 4 here. Lightning rounding it. Oh, again, this happened last time. Lightning round, and then we hit that rookie receiver from TCU. 94 speed, y'all. Okay, Madden's a video game. I get that. It's not real life. You're going to see for a lot of Chargers teams out there, Chargers fans using or playing Madden online, you're going to see this man in the starting 3. A lot. 94 speed is awesome. It's not like Tyreek Hill, who's probably got like 97, 98, but 94 for the Chargers and for Justin Herbert out there in that big arm. That's going to be fun to play with, man. 94 speed. 69 overall, too, which is actually not bad for a rookie. That's not bad. That's not bad, right? That's definitely not bad. I like that. That's going to be a fun one in franchise, right? You're going to develop Darius Davis real quick because he's going to be able to get open real nice. I like that. It'll be a returner, too. Next up, Donald Parham coming in at a 69 overall. I feel like every year he's in like the high 60s, and I'm like, dude, come on. He needs to be in and around the mid-70s because I feel like that's who he is as a player in the NFL, is in the mid-70s in Madden ratings speak. 84 speed though, 6'8". If one thing you guys can take away from this video with Donald Parham is that he was the biggest pain in the butt to defend in Madden 23 when it comes to the high point pass. That kind of like ruled that game, right? The high point. And in Ultimate Team, they gave this man a ridiculous card, and he was just out there terrorizing Madden players for the entire year. They kept giving him good cards throughout the year. So Donald Parham, we can hope that he looks really good in Madden Ultimate Team because he's kind of got that reputation with the MUT community, at least. So cool to see him there. John Hightower, wide receiver. Wow, decent speed. Didn't really expect to see that. I don't know if he'll be with the team, though. He'll probably be on the practice squad. JT Woods. Oh, that's a dilemma right there. Oh. Chargers fans, this is what you do. All right, you play Madden Ultimate Team. You're going to load in there, right? You're going to put maybe Darwin James in the box. You're going to user this man right here, JT Woods. All right, you get this man out there as your user. I know he's like 6'2", 6'3". 93 speed is stupid. So if anything, 68 overall, it's probably where he deserves to be right now, at least until we see more. But he'll be great in Madden with that speed rating. Next up, Nick Williams, a brand new defensive lineman, 70 or 68 overall. That's okay. Tui Tuipulotu. No. I knew I was forgetting something. Y'all put Tui at 68? Dude, I don't even know how to react to this one. I was expecting minimum for Tui to be 72, which for rookies is respectable, right? It's respectable. It gives you a nice jumping off point. 68 for a second-round pick? Darius Davis has a higher rating than he does. I don't like that one at all. Hey, this is the second time. You guys clip this for Twitter or something. EA, I'm going to need you to go back. Realize you made a mistake with the ratings in terms of Tuli Tuipulotu. This man is definitely going to start off the game higher than a 68. I would say at very minimum, give this man a 72. Tuli, the second-round pick, and he's going to look awesome. Y'all going to be eating some crow 2-3 weeks into the season, man. Tuli, 68, I do not agree with that one. I do not agree. Keelan Doss coming in at 87 again. Wide receivers, going to be tough to make the roster this season. Trey Pipkins at 67. Don't agree with this one because they're kind of basing this off of his previous seasons, right? Where he was hot garbage. Since then, he looked really good last year when he was on the field. Not great, but like good. I would give him a 70 at least. 71. Trey Pipkins. Xander Horvath, 67. Again, because we didn't see much, I get it. But you can use this guy pretty dang well on Madden. 85 speed at fullback is nice. That's nice. At that position, that's nice. Okay. A lot of people like to sub in their tight ends, but with Xander, you don't have to. 85, that's nice speed. That's faster than a lot of tight ends. I like that. Chris Rumpf at a 66 overall. Okay. Page 5, we got Jasir Taylor at a 66. That's actually not bad for a late-round pick last season. He'll develop nicely. 90 speed's definitely not bad. He's a guy you can develop in the slot. Dean Leonard, kind of surprised to see him at a 65. I would probably put him a little lower, but definitely not bad. 93 speed's also pretty nice, man. If you're playing franchise, you could also convert this man to a safety. He'd be a nice user as well. I think he had some size on him. Jordan McFadden, late-round pick, 65 overall. For a lineman, I get it. It could be better, but that's a guy that you're going to have to develop, and I think that's something that the Chargers, they got some nice upside with him. Larry Roundtree at a 65, feels appropriate. 65 for Michael Jackett. Nick Neiman. I think Nick Neiman needs to be a little higher. I think he was a pretty great special teamer. Scott Matlock, I would like to see him a little higher than a 65, maybe 66, but definitely not too bad for a rookie. Mark Webb, 64, needs to stay on the field. Tito, 64, needs to stay on the field. Pokey Wilson, 64, some nice upside for the undrafted free agent. Trey McKitty at 64 feels okay. AJ Finley at 63. Jared Clark at 63. A lot of these guys feel pretty appropriate. Taiwan Mullen, Cam Brown, Kimon Hall. Will Clapp needs to be a little higher, 64. Andrew Traynor, Carlo Kemp, Max Duggan at 61. That's actually kind of brutal, dude. 61 for Max Duggan. I would have given him, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that pick. I would have given him like a 64, 65. That's pretty low. That's pretty low. The free agent tight end with 81 speeds, definitely not bad. Raheem Lane, 86 speeds, strong safeties, not bad as well. Brendan Hymas at 60, yikes. Easton Stick at 60, yikes. Yo, Easton Stick shouldn't be a 60. He should be like a 68, 69. Nice. Dang, I don't like that. Elijah Dodson, Christopher Hinton, a lot of these back up. You know, you're going to see a lot of these guys in the practice squad. Isaac Weaver. More. Is there any guy that offends me at this point? Are there any last offenses? Zach Bailey, Ogbog Bamiga, Foster Sorrell, Josh Harris. Why do they put Josh Harris as a tight end every year, man? I don't get that. That's our long snapper. And he's one of the best in the league at that, too, dude. He's like one of the higher echelon. He should be, in the terms of long snappers, like an 86, 87, right? But they put him at tight end. He's a 43. Okay. All right. Video got a little away from me, okay? I'm sorry. I have a soft spot for Madden, okay? Don't go crazy. Play responsibly, especially if you play Madden Ultimate Team. My initial reaction to this roster, which, again, it's going to see some adjustment. I hate the Justin Herbert rating. You got to fix that, EA. You've got to fix that. I hate the Thule rating. Funny enough, if you want to, like, you know, split hairs here, Thule needs to be in the 70s, y'all. And then I think Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa needs to be bumped up a little bit higher. Of course, I'm going to feel everyone needs to be bumped up a little bit higher. Outside of that, there are things that bugged me for the most part. It's going to be a good team in Madden, right? It's going to be a good team in Madden. Definitely go out there and use Darius Davis. Be smart with who you're using in terms of your safeties. I think, you know, JT Woods has a place in the game because of that. Overall, not great, not bad, not great. But I'm excited to give it a shot. And that's definitely something we're going to see more of. If you guys are wondering, like, now is the time to ask, like, Director, where's Sim Sunday? When are we going to start seeing the simulations? They're actually coming really soon, like, really, really soon. We had, of course, some personal family stuff that we had to take care of this several past months. Since then, that's been resolved. So we got some time to start organizing everything there. So Sim Sundays will be coming back. It'll be a little bit chaotic because we're going to have to do a lot of games each episode, and there'll probably be multiple episodes a week, but it'll come back. And then eventually when Madden 24 comes out, we'll move it over to there from Madden 23. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your favorite rating. Let me know the one that you would change, right? The one that you would change. Let's say outside of Justin Herbert. I know everyone's going to say Justin Herbert. Outside of Justin Herbert, what's the one player that you would change their rating to match their talent? I think there's quite a few. But I feel, again, the ones that I listed definitely bother me the most. So you guys let me know. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. If you liked what you saw here, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. We'll see you next time. And as always, bolt up and stay frosty. Justin Herbert in 87. Never have I ever, EA.